Hello and welcome everybody, I'm Bavarian and I am so excited because today we are returning to, well, this absolute site that you see before you right here. This is Manor Lords on the experimental patch. We have two new maps, one that is mountainous and, well, the other one is this one right here. We have an incredibly beautiful meandering river. You can see it right here. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous river. It actually flows into this direction. So what we have on the right side right now is the right bank, and then the other side is, of course, the left bank. We're going to build here. We are going to explore history. We're going to talk about rivers, about lakes. We're going to talk about so many different topics that are super cool to talk about because, well, history, quite frankly, is super, super cool. And we're going to do this while we, of course, build our very own fiefdom. We have done this on the channel before. If you followed, then you will know what you're in for. If you don't, then, well, let me just tell you, we will be doing a largely unedited, relatively slow, and very history discussion heavy playthrough. I have done this last year when this game released, and then I actually did another one. We did two playthroughs. I even built an ultimate city, and I am still so content with how this one came out. I hope to top this, of course. I want to build something greater, something better, and I want to get to know the game again. Like I said, I will also be talking a lot about history, like for example how medieval people were able to breathe underwater. Okay, of course, I am joking. This is just one of those things that happens if you are on an experimental branch. Don't mind it. There will probably be bugs. There might be some visual oversights. Who cares? This game is absolutely worth going through it. And we're going to do all of this while we build this beautiful medieval society. We're starting on this new map, and we do have an on-map adversary. We also have bandits, but I turned the on-map adversary actually reactive, so that means he will never directly attack us, which honestly I'm fine with because, well, we're mostly here to build. I do want to see some battles, which the adversary is here as well. Now let me tell you my exact plan for starters right here. We are in Tausendburg, which I can only assume, 1,000 bridges maybe, because this is of course where we are actually crossing this river, which is quite interesting. There's only two other crossings, and they are also, actually one more of them is directly in this particular location. So yeah, 1,000 bridges, that makes a lot of sense. Maybe it's actually a completely different etymology of this particular word. Honestly, I wouldn't know. I didn't look it up, but I like this location when I took a look at this map because it is A, central, and B, oh my god, it lets us build something so nice in this particular region. For one, I will have our initial village right here. We're going to build a Rundling. We're going to talk, of course, about Rundlinge as well, and I think, oh my god, look at that. Is this not the most beautiful area that you have seen for fields and fields and fields? Well, for me, it most certainly is. And then, last but not least, as we explore this area, I'm really, really looking forward to building our ultimate city right here. I think this will be the spot that we will at some point call it a day in this particular playthrough. Just look at this. It's incredible. But for the time being, of course, we have to start somewhere. And we're going to start right here, close to the river, because, well, the rivers, as your geography teacher is probably telling you whenever they get the chance, were the highway of the pre-industrial periods. Before we start talking history, let's actually start placing some stuff down. So I'm looking at this, and I'm saying I want my town right here. I have our camp, so you can see it right there. It is all the way up there. This entire thing can go. I think these ones we might want to keep unless we want to settle really densely, primarily because these should be pretty decent should flooding occur. It might actually stop some of the flooding, right? So we would leave this in place, but this stuff, now that should hopefully be decent farmland. Oh, it will be great farmland. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to place down the logging camp. We need the logging camp. We might even do two, just so that I can build a little bit faster. I would also like a woodcutter's lodge. We're going to place you maybe down there. And a saw pit. Absolutely. Let's place a saw pit relatively far away from where we'll have the city core. All of this stuff is temporary. We're going to cut this all down sooner rather than later. The way I play this game is that when we have a very dense forest, so more like this and less like this, I won't build there until I've cut down most of it. So there's a little bit of role-playing going on there, which means we don't need foresters' huts. At least we can do that later, right? We also do have a hunting camp and a decent hunting location. It's not great, it's not terrible. I might be moving it sooner rather than later, but for the time being, it can stay where it is. And you know what? I'm gonna lead down a pathway, how about like this maybe? There you go. And then up through the camp, or at least close to the camp, and then over there to the main road. The idea being, we're going to transform this Rundling into a Rundling, and this is just Hildebold von Bärenreuther. Who cares? I'm gonna tell him, get out of town, this is my territory, everybody hates you. Oh, did you see the text was actually for the original map? That was not the territory Fodau and Kleinau that he actually holds. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, the point being, let's ignore that guy, who cares? I want to build a Rundling that is very expansion capable. In the past, we've discussed that Rundlinge were very difficult to expand on, because normally, right, it's just a circle that has one exit and entrance, which makes it so that you can't really build anywhere else. Some Rundlinge had 2 or 3 exits, and they would actually expand into bigger cities as you go. That is exactly the type of Rundling that I want to build here. Although, you know what, I'm going to redraw. Give me a chance here. What do you think? This road curvature looks about right? I like this. This is a big Rundling. A really, really big Rundling. Don't get me wrong here. We're going to have some buildings inside of the circle. Again, we're going to talk about that a bit more going forward. Of course, land ownership was a big, big topic in this particular period. I mean, when was it ever not a big topic? But, alright. We're going to lead ourselves here through this woodcutting camp. We're going to go all the way up there. Boom. And then connect into this way. So on the overlay map now, you know what, this is too big. I'm going to make it slightly smaller. You're going to see a lot of these micro adjustments here, just because I know that we can have a better time if I really take care here in the initial steps. We just need the initial steps to work, okay? That's really the only thing that matters. Let's try to make this semi-round at the very least. I think that's fine. I think this is better. I can see this. So we will have an initial push, right, of basically villages right here. And what I'm going to do now, actually, is we are going to cut off this particular pathway so that we only have 2. Actually, we're going to cut both of these. Cut them off. Just so that we only have a 1-entry Rundling right now. This is how you would build this historically, basically. We can just long-term expand it, which might mean that we have to take down some houses, but yeah, that is the price of progress. And look at our industrious folks, together with the ox right here, already bringing all the building materials that we need to do this. This is the logging camp. Over here we have the saw pit. Oh, I love the saw pit building. It's such a nice little building. I wish I would like glitch into the pit itself. I think that would be cinematic. Anyway, you can see right here we are on a little bit of a hill. The idea being that the church will be somewhat higher. I've talked about this in the past, but basically, no matter what you did, more often than not, you would want to build the church relatively high. If you lived in a dangerous area, the reason, or one of the reasons, may very well be that, hey, you want to build it high up so that people can withdraw into the church, so if you were to turn it into a reinforced church, and you could then be protected there from certain raiders, like, for example, the Magyars, although this period has well passed at, you know, when this game is set in, like, what is it, the 14th, the 15th century, right? That is when Manor Lords is taking place in Franconia, or at least the building style is inspired by Franconia. Anyway, you would want to build the church right there, and obviously you're not moving it later, right? So you have a protection there, and at the same time, maybe a bit more comical or macabre, depending on where you're coming from on this, you want to have it a bit higher so that when it rains, your corpses don't slide into the river. Yeah, this is a real concern, because that's just kind of what happens if you bury somebody underneath. If ever anything kind of slides away, yeah, the pathway into the river may be relatively short, and you could wake up to contaminated water and to your cousin, you know, looking at you with his eye sockets. Now, the interesting part, nonetheless, is, of course, building close to a river is a huge benefit. Like I said, this is the historical highway. It is so much easier to go along the river, be it literally just via a road, or be it on the river, right? If you have a small river boat, it can definitely make things much, much easier for you. Ah, and look at them go here. I love this. I have missed this, my god. And I'm gonna actually turn you up to very high construction priority. We need the logging camps to be up as quickly as possible, so that we can then, of course, let's turn you up to the second one, so that we can then immediately build our houses here. I don't know how it works currently, but I would suspect that it's probably best to actually build up these, you know, these houses very quickly. In the past, you didn't want to do this, because then people might leave, although, again, this was on higher difficulties. I'm playing just on normal here, and you need them to have high approvals so that you can actually get migrants. So the idea here is we just want to get these up as quickly as possible so that I can then place down, there they are, these burgage plots. We want to do this as quickly as we can, and we'll go from there. Alright, let's assign them right there. I want them working. Let me get familiar with this interface again. So we are burning through our food, huh? So we, as soon as possible, I guess, want to build this hunting camp. I built it over there. Okay, you're going to be constructed. That is easy. Where can I see families that are not working? Right, assigned families and unassigned families. Then we're seeing the burgage plots right here. Available living spaces, total population. Alright, this interface didn't change too much. This is also still the same. And yes, I don't believe that we got new skill points here. I think they just rebalanced it, right? The better deals was like super, super good in the past. And of course, now we actually do have fishing. And I do really, really like this. Okay, interesting. I am so eager to talk about those lakes, because those lakes, or, well, the ponds, I guess, are not necessarily the ponds that you would have in your city or in your village center. You know what, that's for another video. If you want to learn about these ponds, that's for later. Can you guys see that my shield is actually changing all the time? I don't know what is up with that, okay? I didn't choose the black shield life. I guess I just became the evil knight as we went through this here. We still now have 3 unassigned families. I want to leave at least 1 unassigned, but we do need to start cutting some stuff down as soon as possible. Did we finish building the hunting camp? Okay, up this as well. Make sure that we get some food here on our way. And of course, immediately after that, we're also going to go for some forager hut right here. I don't think we need to connect these necessarily. I do also want to point out that I'm aware I will be moving these wild animals eventually. I would really like them like over here, because I'm going to probably leave this mostly untouched, but I won't be moving it now. Right now it is nice that it is relatively close to our future village right here. Alright, and there you go. Logging camp is finished. Let me assign some folks right here as well. Beautiful. Saw pit comes next, that's okay. All we care about right now, I guess, is just starting with the burgage plot. Let's take a look at this. I want a beautiful well right about here. And then I'm going to do something that we didn't do with our initial Rundlinge in the past. I'm going to do this now. In the past, I would draw these plots towards the backyard freehand. We're not going to do this now. I'm going to actually have a guidance road right here. And I hope that we can maybe create something nice. It looks a bit interesting at the very least. We're going to have some bigger, some smaller plots. That's fine. We're going to get rid of this road once we've actually built all of the plots. Or once we've drawn them, I mean. But for the time being, I basically just want to make sure that we got something interesting to look at here, right? So, let's say, for example, I start building a plot like this, and then we attach it to the end of the road like so. That would be a bit too big. I would want it like this. There you go, yeah. These will be the very first burgage plots. They don't inherently need to be the same size. That was not always actually a requirement. Oftentimes, that was something that you wanted to achieve, because when you have settlers, right, you say, hey, I'm going to start this new Rundling, do you want to live there? If you have equality, it will create village peace long term. It will make it so that people are happier and that they will come more often. However, well, if the person that leads this... Oh, not enough supplies, that's okay. That leads this settlement effort, right? If that person is bad at measuring, so they would show up and they would measure, for example, up to this tree, that is where you live. If they do it poorly, yeah, they just wouldn't be the same size. That's just the way it works. Oh, and you know what? I almost forgot something here. I'm actually going to go and reinforce this circle. I did this in a past video as well. I'm going to make sure that this road is a bit thicker. The idea being here, if we make this thicker, the entire Rundling will look a bit juicier. And that is something that we definitely want here. Trust me on this, okay? Right now it's going to look a little bit ugly, but I think it's going to pay off. I recommend trying this out if you want to have, you know, your settlement look a little bit more impressive. Again, like how dense, how thick you make it should be up to like how you want to design that particular village. And you can see right here, I basically now have a parallel road, and now I'm just going to fill in the center. And that is going to become ever thicker when we actually start building houses around it. Yeah, I think this is going to turn out well. Let me check this out, right? We are on the main road. And you can see now here already, I already thickened this. And this is thicker than it normally would be. This is a good size. You can have a big cart here. This could become the village center, or, you know, an actual city center at some point. Look at this stork. Shoveling on his own. Oh, what the hell? I love this particular model. Reminds me of City Skylines 2 Citizens.
Summer's coming soon, and soon the beating sun.
The beating sun. I love my British peasants. Alright, let's see here. What I'm thinking is, so this is relatively close to where the church will be, right? The church will probably be around here, maybe even up there. Not set on that yet, although traditionally, if you do have a church in your Rundling, which again wasn't that common, but if you did have it, it would be inside of the Rundling rather than in place of a building. It would basically be built after the Rundling already was established, because Rundlinge they were normally a bit smaller than other village formats, not really meant to expand. Oh, I don't like that, yeah, look at that. We need to go around like this. That's good. Okay, now we got it. There you go. Yeah, that looks perfect. Look at that. That looks nice. You come into this village, you have immediately, of course, your actual market, and sell your goods right there, and, well, then you can leave, because we don't want you here. Are we actually starving here immediately? Am I screwing up right from the get-go? People are not happy about that, huh? I did assign people now actually here to the hunting camp. And I think they're working. They got some generic storage. We also, well, we got the marketplace, right? We're gonna have this granary as well. I think we'll be good. I forgot how to buy an ox, but I think I want to buy a second one, right? You want to do this like as quickly as you can, if I recall. How the hell do you do that? I think you just like click a button here, right? Stable space, oh yeah. Order another ox. So I'm gonna do that right away, because this seems, this seems very much necessary. There you go. I still remember some of this game, okay? I can go about my business and do this. God, I love the granary in this. I really can only like repeat this. The granary is so nice because it really showcases just what is important about one, right? You build it elevated so that, you know, natural harm, like for example, some type of flash flood, I don't know, something like that. Or rats, you know, that kind of stuff. Any critters, they have a harder time getting in. That is all you're doing. And maybe you even keep out the people who want to steal something just if they fall down this small ladder. It won't really hurt them, but it will be a lesson. And my God, this doesn't even look good, okay? But it already looks good, you know what I mean? This game just has a talent to look good. Right, and now we have the first burgage plots right here. Let me check this. We got plenty of timber. Jesus Christ, we have so much timber. We're just gonna keep building burgage plots immediately. Yeah, that's a lot of houses already.
We all know what that means.
They move in with their family. Is there anything else here that I should know that is different now? Obviously, we can start vegetable gardens. They were so good in the old version. Not so sure whether that is still the case. Yeah, I'm not that certain. Animal pen, right? We got pigs, we got goats. I love that we have pigs now. We're gonna do that stuff, but not yet. I just want everybody to live somewhere for the time being, and we'll go from there. Oh, and look at how they're already clearing out the actual forest here. I love to see that. Is he second ox here yet? I think so. I think somebody's just walking around with him. Okay, that's nice. That's good for us. One ox. Where's the other one? Wait a minute. Where's my second ox? There's a lot of traders, as you can see. I don't think we have a second ox yet. Maybe I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm wrong. Oh, and there you go. We've increased the settlement level. I don't know what I want to invest this in. I mean, this is probably going to be a farming community. We don't have, right? Do we have anything good? We do have clay. I mean, that's pretty okay. But I will tend towards saying we probably want to go towards sheep breeding and heavy plows here. Not so sure about the irrigation stuff. We might. I do like fertilization. We're going to go towards both of these. We don't currently have any sheep and any heavy plows, so I'm not going to invest this just yet. But that's going to be our path, I think. Can we... Right, policies. I don't remember that at all. Oh, and there's a new trade screen. That's so interesting. If anybody has any input on like what to consider there, please do let me know. We're currently just building this up, of course. Now let me see here. We're not doing so hot in terms of the food that we're producing because admittedly, I made a big mistake. I recognize this now. I should have placed down a forager. Oh, I should have put somebody to work here 1,000 years ago. Because obviously during winter, that stuff is just going to go away. That is sadly how that works. Let me see here. I need to free up some jobs here, I think. Why don't we get rid of the soul pit for the time being? I don't think we need that right now. Get early migration. You want a church pretty early on, and you want food variety, as well as I get fuel here. We don't really have any of that stuff, huh? So what we're gonna do is, let me just double check. When can I actually build the church? We do need... Oh, that is not that far away at all, actually. We do need somebody in the soul pit, and I guess we have enough timber for the time being. So I'm going to take somebody out of these timber locations. Then we have more people yet again, free to do whatever they want to do. Let's do a woodcutter's lodge. And additionally, I would like a storehouse. And I think I'm going to pepper you down. Like right here across from the granary. That seems sensible to me. I might just delete the pathway in the back there, but... it is what it is. It's okay. We'll survive. Now, and last but not least... This will be the weirdest plot, but... Sometimes you gotta do weird plots, okay? This stuff can be cute. I pray that it is cute. I think that looks decent. I think that's okay. We can now additionally here try to kind of fatify this road, right? If we do a really odd plot. There you go. That's fine. This works completely decently. Yeah. Put it down like this. Boom, there you go. 2 houses. Looks a bit odd. I like it. I absolutely do. Now, wait a minute. So we have this ox that belongs up there. So that's this one. Where's this guy? Heinz. No! No! They're stuck. Oh no.
No oval. Tomorrow.
Will he ever arrive? I don't think he's ever gonna arrive. That's okay. Oh no, my ox. What happened? If I order another one, you think it's gonna be worth? Let's do it. Let's get another one. Maybe this one will actually arrive. Oh, he's stuck. I see what is happening here. We're a victim of was it on this road? Where the hell was the guy? Wait a minute. They're making it now. Wait, how? Oh, no way, wait a minute. Did the new ox spawning in? Did the new ox spawn in here? And did that actually unstuck them? That would be so funny. I need to pay double for each. Oh, an abandoned camp was sighted. I do hate those folks, let me tell you. Wait a minute, I need to find out where the third ox is. Is the third ox actually coming? Like, ever? Alright, I assigned Endres now here to the saw pit. I remembered this. To build the church early on, you need one ox assigned to this thing, otherwise they will always be building, which of course doesn't really do anything for you this early. I am way overbuilding these plots, just for the record, but we might as well, right? This is the way it is. I think we're gonna make it very easily through winter as well. Our population is just so small. Yeah, take a look at the berries. They're being harvested. Everything is fine. I even got another hitching post just in case. Let me double check this, okay? Where's this guy? So this is Endres. I don't know which Endres is this. Then I got this hitching spot, which is also an Endres. This is the one we applied for the saw pit. Wait, so this guy is just... he doesn't exist. It at least looks like we got this one. Yes! Okay, so we do now have 2 oxen. Very nice. Right, and now we can build our church. And I'm gonna build it... oh, God. I'm gonna build it. Can I deactivate snapping here real quick? So I gotta... oh, I cannot... my ability to use controls is... has been diminished. Massively diminished. I think I'm gonna build it like this. I'm gonna have like a little, you know, some stuff in front of it. This way it's pretty central. Then over here is where the, you know, where the animals can go, the sheep, that kind of stuff. And the church itself will be connected to the road. Like so. I'm gonna make this relatively thick. I'm gonna lead it in there. That should be cool. There we go. Okay, I think this will work, right? And this can lead around the kind of animal pen that we're gonna build over here. And all of a sudden we have a beautiful center with the church, of course, as you enter, being visible and being relatively up high. Compared to the rest of the village, right? Look behind it. Yeah, I think this is a good spot for our church here. Oh, and we built a storehouse, which means that we do get this armaments delivery now. Let me see here. Yeah, 20 shields and 20 spears. Once we have enough population to actually make this happen, I am going to go ahead and raid some of the bandit camps. At least I would like to. Entirely because the benefits from that can be really awesome. Like, just really, really good. Or, you know what? At least they were last time I played. Which, yeah, that's a while ago, huh? That is a while ago. My big hope here is that we can build this church. And once it is done, we will get actual people coming over, right? And when they do, and when they arrive, hopefully we can actually go and kind of... let me actually stop you from working here, by the way. We're going to even unassign the ox, maybe. There you go. What I want to do is basically, I just want migrants as soon as possible, because only then can we actually start working on everything. Finishing your church basically in the very first year, so before the first winter arrives, is really beneficial if you want quick migration right here. I think we need like 60%, something like that anyway. Nobody's homeless anymore. The big issue... stop stealing from me, my god. The big issue that we now have is that we don't have the market variety. Let me see. Supply and demand. Right, okay, accepted goods, that's fine. We're not doing any of this currently, because nobody's offering anything at all. I need people employed in the granary so that they can actually run their market stalls, and then I guess I need one right here so that we will have one firewood stall. I think I can take you off the logging camp for the time being, and I'll put you into the granary. Now we should have berries and indeed the hunting camp. And all then that we need, last but very much not least, is one more guy running the storehouse to put firewood into the marketplace as well. Are you full? I think that's going to be enough for like the winter, right? So I'm just going to put you into the storehouse. And I think people should now soon-ish be happy, right? Because we are now offering them 2 different types of food and fuel. Not clothing, but that's okay. Actually, technically, we could even do clothing now that I think about it. Right, because of the hides. Interesting. Ah, man, you know, I remember when I played this game for the first time in that demo that they had years ago. I think it was like 2022, 2021, something like this. It didn't really click with me back then. I thought the supply chains were too simplistic. I don't think... I thought there was not enough going on. There was a lot of downtime. And now I'm like, man, this game really excels at all of that. Like, being simplistic enough so that you can go, okay, I got a very clear supply chain, and it all slots in neatly. It's a net positive for the game, right? Because now we can walk around and just take a look at this church. I think one piece of stone is still missing.
No, it should absolutely be placed over there.
Was that just loud for me? Was that loud for all of us? Alright, anyway, I really, really like the way this has come out.
Work on the roof, good sir.
My god, you gotta be quiet, buddy. I really like what they've done here, and I think ultimately I was wrong in my very first assessment. I'm having a much better time. Now, I can't tell you already, we're gonna end this episode, I think, in the winter, with the church build. That is roughly where I want to end it. And then in the next episode, we can already be looking towards actually establishing some industries. You can see, right, this is where you come in. You have the granary and you have the storehouse right there. And then you enter, see the church over there. You will have a building here, of course, as well. And then a central plaza right there that may sooner rather than later become an actual, like, quasi-proto-Willy? Quasi-proto-city center. Not so sure whether we're actually going to do this, but I do like that idea. We are coming along nicely here. What are you selling? Firewood. Okay, I can see that. What are you selling? Oh, we got some berries there, and we got nothing. You're just selling nothing. Alright. The interesting part, of course, is that where the game is set in terms of technology level, but also architecture, that ultimately we didn't really have that many natural forests in this period anymore. Most of them were already maintained. The big push in Central Europe of settlements was already over, which means that what we experience in Manor Lords isn't really directly what happened in this period. But let's be real here. The game mostly captures this kind of vague feeling, the vague idea of this period, and it does so very authentically in many ways, but at the same time, of course, well, authenticity is a bit of a vague word when it comes to applying it to popular media. It does what it does, and it does it really, really well. Just make sure that you realize there's a difference between this game and actual reality. And there you go. It is January, and I think here is, like I said, where we're going to call it a day. You see the birds in the distance. Maybe they're already migrating back. It's a bit early, quite frankly, but, you know, either way. We have built a beautiful church for our fledgling Rundling right here, and I think things are going very, very well. We are very speedy, and I think we can get to where we need to be. We are going to have a bandit attack in 1 more year, so maybe potentially in the next video already. We have now built a base community, although of course we have to do a lot more. We're going to go into agriculture, and obviously we can talk about how that is impacted by a river, and well, what the river means for the people in this village. Quite a lot more in the next episode. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. I am looking forward to being back in this game. I'm even looking forward to this young lad despite him being bald. Either way, I will leave you right here. Take a look at our cozy village, and I'll see you later, alligator.